life happens to us all. Rain falls on the just and the unjust. The difference with the just, with people like you, people that honor God, is God promises to take what was meant for harm and turn it for your good. There may be dark seasons, but if you'll stay in faith and not get bitter, God won't just bring you out, He'll bring you out better than you were before. He'll make the enemy pay for bringing that trouble.
You know, you got to pick certain things that motivate you. You have to find a dream that's so big that it overwhelms all of your fears and causes you to never give up. Now, you're going to think about quitting no matter what you do. I mean, I've thought about it many times, but I always dreamed of buying my mother and father a real house.
It's never too late to begin again. No matter what has happened to you in your life, no matter what you've done or what's been done to you, it is never too late to press into a new beginning.
There are people and opportunities that were ordained for your past that are not ordained for your future. They were right for a season, but that season can come to an end. The key is how we handle the closed doors, how you handle the people that treated you wrong. Sometimes, instead of kissing them goodbye, we smack them goodbye.
Recreating you, and you have the power to do that. You can decide that you're going to change, that you're not going to be a wimp. You can decide that you're going to stand up to life. You can decide that I'm going to live each day as if it were my last. You have the power to make that decision.
People who are leaders always have a great dream. They're thinking ahead. They're planning ahead. It's a dream that drives you. It affects how you talk. It affects how you think. It affects how you live. And don't be a dream killer. Don't be a dream killer. You see, George Bernard Shaw said, listen to this, dream of things that never were and ask, why not?
You can't change the past, but you can interpret. You can reinterpret how you see it. For years, I was going around with a heavy load on my shoulders, feeling bad because I was adopted. You weren't given away less, you were chosen with love. Same circumstances, same event, but reinterpreted. An interpretation that empowers me.
Creativity to look at the world a little differently. Creativity to be different. And what goes hand in hand with the creativity of self-enterprise? The courage to be creative, the courage to see things differently, and the courage to go against the crowd, the courage to stand alone if you have to. Understanding your self-worth, how valuable you are. What could you do if you had all the skills, took the classes, read the books? What could you do? What true value could you develop? Once you start understanding how valuable you are, it's a whole new experience. If we don't feel good about ourselves, we won't feel good about our lives. And if we don't feel good about our lives, we won't be very interested in looking for opportunities.
At the end of the day, life is a fight for territory. And once you stop fighting, you don't want it automatically.
Success isn't in the having. Success is in the doing. It's the process of doing that brings value. It's the activity that transforms our dreams into reality, that converts ideas into actuality.
What I discovered about focusing in on a goal or something you want to accomplish is that the moment that you focus in on what you want to do, that's when you begin to have energy to do it. A distracted person lacks energy. And when they get to the thing they need to be focusing in on, they don't have the energy to give.
Let's say you're miserable and unhappy. Here's a cure. Find what's valuable and let it go. So we could say, well, maybe it's a relationship that you have. Maybe it's a relationship with your parents. And the relationship is pathological, but you're locked into it. You value it. And no wonder, because it's a relationship with your parents. And you're suffering terribly because of it. Well, what do? Maybe you let it go. It's a sacrifice. And the idea is that, well, that'll clear the future for you.
Separate what you do from who you are. That's what the guilt trap is about. All of us have done some things that if we had them to do over again, we wouldn't do it again. There are a lot of things that if I had it to do over again, if I knew then what I know now, I would have done it differently. Well, it didn't happen that way. And that's what you call life.
This is a time for you to look at your life, look at where you want to go, look at what you want to do. And let me warn you, don't look at where you are. Don't look at your bills. Don't spend time talking about what has happened to you. Hold a vision of yourself being successful in the future with whatever you do. That's what you want to do, because your thoughts have magnetic power. Where focus goes, energy, persistence, and determination flows.
You can start heading in the right direction by having a brand new attitude toward life. You're hurting yourself if you're living an isolated, lonely life and living in fear of ever being involved with anybody. But you know, you really only have two choices. You can live your life disappointed, or you can have a new beginning. That's the only option.
There's some people who just go through life mechanically. All right, they go to school, they get a degree, come out, they apply for a bunch of jobs, and hey, this job said yes, so I guess I'll do this one. You know, they're in relationships and it's not perfect. In fact, it's not even good. It's bad. And, you know, they're thinking to themselves, well, hey, it's not great, it's not good, but, you know, at least I'm not alone, so I guess I'll stick around here anyway. You know, they never stop to ask themselves, what else is in me? And that's why I do it. That's why I ask that question. What else is in you?
Fight on. Fight through the storm. Fight through the pain and come out the other side stronger and better. A survivor. A winner. Victorious. Free from that storm.
It's easy to get bitter, hold a grudge, lose your passion. Kiss the person that left you goodbye. Kiss the dream that didn't work out goodbye. God wouldn't have allowed it to happen if He didn't have something better up in front of you.
You can live a larger life. Don't just focus on what's going on now. Don't focus on what you had lost. Don't focus on the rug being snatched out from under you. Don't focus on you've lost your job or been evicted or been foreclosed on. Focus on where you are going. To a new life, that God is going to do a new thing with you. How? I don't know. How is none of your business. You do what you can do, God will do what you can't do.
Letting go of what lies behind. We've all got a past. Thank God we've all got a future. Don't you believe that lie that it's too late for you. Refuse to be trapped in the past.
So when you begin to look at your past, give an interpretation that empowers you. That's where I used to be. That's not where I am now. I'm growing.
Life has disappointment. It got peaks and valleys. You're going to lose somebody you care about one day. That's a valley. Somebody going to fire you for an unjust cause. That's a valley.
Regulate your habits. Try to get up at approximately the same time each morning. Your circadian rhythms operate more fluidly, and your mood is likely to be regulated better if there's islands of stability in your daily routines. Regulating your sleep and your breakfast eating habits in particular can be a very effective way of regulating your mood and increasing your capacity to concentrate.
There are people who won't help you because they know too much about you. And that vision they have of you, they can't forget. They can't see you doing better. They can't see you achieving and living a larger life. And that's okay. Don't try and convince them. That's a full-time job, convincing yourself. Somebody asked me, what's the most difficult thing that you've done? I said, the most difficult thing I've ever done, and it took me years to do it, was to believe that I could do it.
It takes guts to take that first step and say, here we go. I'm accepting the possibility that I might fail. I've failed at so many things in my life. That's just the way it goes. But you know what? At least I can look back and say, at least I tried.
Begin to stimulate some possibilities in your mind on how you can resolve the problem. We can't grow by ourselves. As I mentioned before, we grow from people and projects. So part of beginning to get unstuck, you've got to decide that the behavior pattern that you have adopted doesn't work for you. You've got to change your strategies, and changing your strategy means reinventing your life.
In life, you will always be faced with a series of God-ordained opportunities, brilliantly disguised as problems and challenges.
What qualities about your personality you know that you're going to have to change because those particular characteristics are liabilities to you? What are your assets? What are your strong points?
Successful people use no's as a reason to come back stronger, to hit harder, all right, and to be more creative. That's what they do with it. That's why they come back harder, because they've heard a bunch of no's. The people who you admire, who you look up to, who you've heard about, a lot of these people have heard no's multiple times, and they've had to come back and reinvent themselves to discover new energy, discover new ways. That's the value of a no. It opens up more doors than yeses.
Look at and evaluating yourself to make that determination. Find some trusted critics on where we are falling short. Tell us about our blind spots. We want to have everything being positive about us. We're not perfect.
And so one of the rules is, if people are impeding your development, you sacrifice your relationship with them. It's a very, very rough rule.
An enterprising person is one who sees opportunity in all areas of life. To consistently take advantage of the opportunity that you've created. To be aware, to face life with your eyes and ears open to the possibilities that may be just around the corner.
Life is hard. For every time you have a plan, a dream, an aspiration, or a goal, do you know what happens every time you have one of those? This thing comes along called life.
But right now, you're being tried. You're being tested by fire and by pain. That's the test. Don't fail the test.
The rational mind is an obedient servant. He said, we have created a society that honors the servant and has forgotten the gift.
And when I got a C+, I did the happy dance. And so I didn't have a background where studying was natural for me. But when I realized that if I go study something and I learn it, I own it, it's mine now.
Provost, somebody's going to shake your hand, hand you a diploma, congratulate you, and you're going to get off the other side. They're going to have presents waiting for you, and they'll be taking pictures, and everybody will be shaking your hand, say, congratulations today, you become a success, you're a college graduate. Now, my friend, you did not become a success the day that you got your diploma.
Why do you run? Why are you running? Are you running for a reason? Do you know the purpose behind the run? Do you got enough faith in why you're running? Are you afraid you're going to fall down? Do you have enough balance? Are you prepared to test your balance? How fast can you run? Maybe you've got to slow down sometimes. Maybe when you cut that corner, you've got to understand that when you're turning that corner, there's a unique obstacle that is waiting for you.
Who do you have to unbecome to become the person you truly need to be? I had to unbecome being a disc jockey. I had to learn how to use my voice in a different way. I had to learn to let go of music and embrace reading 2 to 3 books a month because I wanted to be a dominant voice. I didn't want to be a black speaker. I wanted to be the speaker in the speaking industry. I'm the kind of person, if I'm going to do it, I'm all in. I'm the kind of person, I don't like being in between. I don't like to be at the back of the line. I want to be in the front of the line, and I'm going to prepare myself and work on myself to be a dominant voice. Take no prisoners. And like Mike Tyson.
Man, it was crazy because all through school, I struggled. The last time I took an English class, my English teacher told me I was the weakest writer she ever met in her entire life.
Lovely.
Yeah, lovely. And the same year I took a speech class, and my speech teacher, he said, quote unquote, Ms. Nichols, I recommend you never speak in public, that you get a desk job. And so
That's neat.
Yeah, it's just, you know, it was demotivated people, sad people, hurt people hurt. Sad people make other people sad. Bottom line, don't take it personal, hurt people hurt. See, most people want the convenience of transformation without the inconvenience. required for transformation. So my grandmother says, and I love to repeat this, your conviction, what you're passionate about, your conviction.
Eat the wounded, starting at the ears.
I want to ask you, what's holding you back? What is your biggest single goal in life today? And what holds you back from achieving it? What sets the speed at which you achieve the goal?
And he said, what you do is you prepare all your life so when the opportunity comes, you can seize the moment. And so what I want people to look at opportunity and change and transition, I want them, instead of to fear it as a foe, I want them to look at it as a friend.
The most dangerous word that you could use day to day is the word hope. You see, hope is not a strategy.
You must remove temptation if you are going to have self-discipline. You have to remove the temptation. It's really, really subtle.
And your convenience don't live on the same block. They ain't even in the same zip code. So if you want to have a conviction for something, you have to sign up to be inconvenienced. We're trying to find convictions and passion and breakthrough on the inside of our box. Well, when you realize that the box doesn't even exist, like someone made up, oh, you're playing outside the box. So we all bought into, there's a box. Well, I don't even own a box. I don't even want to get in your box. You better come out here because I ain't getting in there. And so when you start thinking like that, Tom, all of a sudden, everything is possible. So I disrupt people when I say, you want to make me extraordinary, because it lets you off the hook. What if the God that we call God, the divine, whatever your faith is, what if there's no partial? It's not going to give me a hookup and not give you one. Not going to give me an opportunity and not give you one. I'm just going to go after it. If I die, I'm going to die on the treadmill, like Wisman said. I'm going to be on the treadmill running.
Are you prepared to run through it? Are you prepared to run fast? Are you prepared to run strong? Do you understand what it means to run? So many people run away. They run away instead of running forward. Instead of running towards something, you may have to take your time and just jog a little bit, but sooner or later you've got to pick up the pace, you've got to start moving a little bit faster, and you've got to have the desire to run hard.
Now, what you did have happen to you in that ceremony is you got recognized for success. The diploma is recognition of what you have done the previous 4 or 5 years. You see, you were a success in your freshman year when you decided to not drop out of school like some of your other classmates and decided to stick to it. And you were a success every time you studied for a test. And you were a success every time you did a project or did a writing assignment. You see, you're a success all through school. You're a success every day. Success is a daily thing, not a destination thing. The day you got the diploma, you just got recognized for the success that you already were.
Sharks never retreat. And those big, powerful creatures got close to the camera, and all you could see was muscles and scars and muscles. Why? Because sharks know how to fight. Can I ask you a question? You got some wounds. You got some scars. But are you still willing to battle? Are you still willing to fight for success? Fight for being wealthy. Fight for getting out of debt. Fight for your marriage. Fight for your family. Fight for whatever you got to fight for. The thing I love about a shark, they never stop fighting. Don't let failure stop you. Don't you ever let rejection stop you. Don't you ever let people stop you. You stop moving forward because they said this and they said that. Let me tell you something about what he say and she say. Haters stopped you? Really? When you get successful, haters are a part of the landscape. If you don't have haters, your vision is too slow.
If you could trade places with someone right now, the person that you're trading places may have it just a little bit tougher than you have it going on in your life right now. So many people are suffering from so many things in this world at this moment, but yet you're complaining. So many people in this world right now wish they could trade places with you, but yet you're still complaining. You don't have that right to just give up. You don't have that right.
And that's very essential. Because so many times people have a tendency to devalue the moment, today. What they do is they greatly value the destination. And so they kind of talk about, well, when I get there, or if I arrive there, or when I do that, or when I accomplish this. And they don't understand that success is a daily thing, and I'm here to share with you that the secret of success is determined by your daily agenda. In fact, I wrote a book a few years ago called Today Matters. I'm passionate about that book because what it does is it helps me to understand that we make decisions and then we manage decisions. And too often we think, I will make a decision. For example, you're saying, I'm going to make a decision to be a coach.
And then you have the great whites. Oh, then you got the great white shark, baby. They go deep. They love hunting in the deep. They are always going for the throat, and they don't stop until they win. See, when you go to the swimming pool, most people stay in the shallow end, but not great whites, baby. Not great white sharks. They go into the deep end. They love going deep. For you to become a millionaire, you got to go deep. Some of you guys got to read more. Some of you guys got to study more. Some of you got to change your relationship. Why? Because your friends are shallow. Your family is shallow. If you want to be a great white, baby, you got to get some new friends. You got to get some new conversations. You got to get some new material, new information, new access to new people that can take you to a place you've never been. All great white, baby, they go deep. It's time for you to go deep. Whatever you put me in, I'm going to make it out on top. Wherever you drop me off, I'm going to make it. Why? Because I'm a shark.
You have to realize that you don't have any other opportunities waiting for you if you're not willing to work the first opportunity that's been given to you. You don't have a lot of time left, so there's no reason to complain. You're not even in a position to complain. You have to figure out there has to be another idea about you, and you have to understand that there has to be something even greater and more challenging waiting for you.